Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Holy cow. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. The second one of 2026. So, gosh, it was like just a handful of weeks ago we were celebrating the last one. We went a little light here on the channel for the very first Friday the 13th of 2026, but we've gone a lot heavier for this one. And I think we're going to have a really awesome Friday the 13th out in November as well. So, finishing, it's going to be like right off the backs of Halloween and everything like that, and all the spooky season celebrations. And then we're going to get to fall right back into it with some Jason Voorhees love. But here we are to celebrate today. And I'm here early today because, well, for a couple of reasons. So number one, I'm co-hosting a Friday the 13th parts 2 through 4 marathon with Jason from Backtrack Cinema. So Jason, it was his idea to do the marathon. He invited me to be part of it, and then he was gracious enough to let me simulcast it over here on the Davey Deathray page, which is awesome, especially when you're hanging out with someone for 6 hours. It's nice to get a little love over on your channel as well. But guys, if you haven't gone over there and sub to Backtrack Cinema, or whichever stream you end up watching or gravitating to more naturally today, make sure you go on over to the other stream, drop the like, hang out for a little bit, all that good stuff. It definitely helps. It definitely helps both channels. Holy cow, Davey, take a breath and allow yourself to keep on talking. So that's one of the reasons why, and another reason why is because you guys helped me reach a super chat goal earlier in the week. So we always have, I say always, 99% of the time, I try to have one of those things going just so, I don't know, it's just a little fun, get to do some extra streams and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to be talking my top 13 kills in the franchise. And originally I was going to do this as a pre-recorded video, but you guys know that I have been struggling a little bit with my computer and its work horsepower as far as editing some vids lately. So I'm working on figuring that stuff out. And in the meantime, I wanted to be, able to give you guys content. So we're just going to do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. And I can always clip it out later and all that stuff. Speaking of which, I know I told you I was going to see Undertone last night and I would shoot a short review. But again, it was, I've got it shot. It's just been a struggle on the editing side. So I can give you guys that review live here if you want after we talk about the top 13 kills in the franchise. But I'm going to say what's up to you all, and then we're going to get rolling. And hey, if you're in the UK and you're watching and it's the evening of Friday the 13th, happy Friday the 13th to you. I try to do, I'm trying to be better about doing these. I think this is the third week in a row I've had like a UK friendly stream. Speaking of UK friendly, I think Darren Sands from Only Sands, I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern is when he's going live to do he's calling it like frame fucked. It's such a great idea. I'm so when I saw that he had it, I was like, oh my god, that's such a brilliant idea. I wish I thought of that. Taking characters out of stills from the Friday the 13th franchise and seeing if you can guess which movie and which characters are missing. So really cool idea. Just throwing that out there for you guys. But I'm going to say what's up to y'all, and then we will get rolling on my top 13 kills in the Friday the 13th franchise. How about it? We got Lamontre Gillard in the house, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Lamontre? Oh yeah, guys, I dropped my affiliate link for The Thing Expanded, which is a new documentary from the creator VC people. They did, In Search of Darkness, all that kind of stuff. They have a brand new 5-hour documentary on The Thing coming out. All new interviews. Kurt Russell, Keith David, John Carpenter, all those guys are involved. Dean Cundy, and plenty of the rest of the cast and crew. So if you love The Thing and you want to, check out the documentary and you also want to support the channel, you can use that link and snag a copy. We got Paula Fitzhenry in the house. What's happening, Paula? So good to see you. Tia Nina hanging out, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Tia? We got Jason Voorhees from Crystal Lake. Thank you for specifying. You're not the Jason Voorhees from space. You're not the Jason Voorhees that's trying to return from hell. You're the one from Crystal Lake. I like that. He says, I have been risen from the dead again to watch this. I love that. I love it. So even though Jason doesn't talk, we know he can communicate, and he can communicate in a non-violent manner, apparently, as well. So that's good to know. Thank you so much for joining us, Jason Voorhees. I hope you approve of the list here. I'm sorry, but your mom is getting one of the kills on the list. So, maybe you're okay with that. You're a bit of a mama's boy, and I say that in a very loving way. Sorry. We have Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Antonis? So good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Holy cow, my guy, Ryan Michael, not only a channel member, but also dropping a $9.99 super chat saying, happy Friday the 13th, Davey. Let's start this party off with a bang. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This should be fun. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think of my list. There are so many kills. I looked them up. I think Collider, somebody did a ranking, which it's like absurd. There's like 137 listed kills. And then of course if you want to count all the people in the space station from Jason X, I think Todd Farmer, one of the writers, said that it's like 20,000 people living there. So, not that those people all have screen time, but you could count that as like one kill right there, pretty much. Yeah, it's wild. There are so many in this franchise. So I don't think that anyone would ever have the same top 13. And maybe there are some that I just totally overlooked. So you guys will have to let me know. We'll get into that. We will get into that for sure, Jason. It should be, I think only one movie showed up twice on my top 13. And guys, I kept it canon only. So even though I do love Never Hike Alone and I have a lot of fun with Jason Rising and all that stuff, this is just the mainline studio films here that we're talking. Maybe we will see. That's Jamie Hart, one of our great channel members and our original Death Squad mod, our mama mod. Ooh, Jason from Backtrack Cinema jumping on in says the Marcy kill is my favorite. That is a really good one. I went a different direction on the OG. But I do love the Marcy kill. It's very Hitchcockian. I love that. All right, let me see who else we got going on here. We got my guy, Foz Rotten. What's happening, Foz? How are you doing? Happy Friday the 13th, right back at you. Hope you and yours are doing well, man, and that 2026 is treating you well. We got a brimful of Asha. What's happening, Asha? One of our great channel members, one of our UK folk. It is pretty awesome. I think you guys are still number 3 on the demographic list. I think it's US, Canada, and then the UK. So Asha, you can, let's see if we can change those analytics up. If I go live once a week UK time, will you share it to all of the horror people that you know? There you go. That's the deal. Welcome on in, Asha. Thanks for hanging out, man. We got Gene Whitacombe hanging with us. What's happening, Gene? So good to see you. Oh, throwing girl from the window in part 4. Oh, that is a pretty good one. I like that. You could totally tell it's a dude in the slow-mo shot on our, on our HD discs and everything like that. But yeah, what a great kill. How did he know she was going to be right at that window? Jason is, he plays dumb. We think there's something going on. He's mentally diminished, but he's definitely got some sort of sixth sense. There we go. We got Joel from Dark Room Reviews hanging out. What's happening, Joel? Great to see you, bud. We got Emo Nerd Girl. What's happening? I'm an emo nerd boy. Says, hello. Hopefully you're doing well, dude. I am. Thank you so much for asking. Hopefully you're doing well also, Emo Nerd Girl. We got Keelan from Kill the Credits jumping on in. Says he's at work, so he can't chat much, but he's watching. So good to see you, Keelan. Hope everything is going well. I know from watching Chills and Thrills that you've been really busy with work. So really appreciate you jumping in to say hello. And I hope you get to enjoy some, some horror this weekend. All right. What else do we got? Thank you for reminding me. Yes, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, all that kind of good stuff. This stream I built like a couple hours before going live. So if you don't have the notification bell hit, you might miss out on some of the content, and we have a lot of fun here. So it's not just me, it's the lovely people in the chat that are bringing the fun as well. So let's see what else we got going on here. We got Erica, one of our lovely Death Squad mods and channel members, still at work as well. And we appreciate you popping in and saying what's up, Erica. You know, the audience, the chat has been, I would say, mostly pretty well behaved here. So luckily, when the mods can't be here for the entire time, usually, you know, it doesn't result in any catastrophes. We got Kyle from from Another World joining us. What's happening, Kyle? Thank you so much for jumping on in, man. One of our great channel members right there. And oh my gosh, guys, I almost forgot to mention, I'm actually wearing the shirt that I was wearing in the picture I took, whenever that was used on the thumbnail. So a rare occasion of me wearing the shirt that I was wearing in the thumbnail. All right, let's see what else we got going here. Yeah, 8:30. It's the perfect time to, you know, tune in to some Friday the 13th content out there. Which movie or movies from the franchise are you watching, Asha? Let me know. Kyle is celebrating 7 months of channel membership. That is wild. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you. Cheers to 7 months as a member. Happy Friday the 13th right back at you, Kyle. Really appreciate you, man. Let's see who else we got going on here. I just want to make sure to get into the biz because, guys, we just got still images from the Crystal Lake TV show. So I'm going to have to talk to you about those. We're going to have to take a look at those together, I think. Now, we're going to take a look over on Jason's channel later on. And the reason why I'm doing it, or why I'm going to do it here, is because I'll clip that out as a little news clip thing. We got Gina, a.k.a. My Chunky Jordy, kicking it with us. Member for 19 months. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Gina. And she's using her membership chat just to remind everyone to hit the like button. That is very, very sweet. Hope you and Ziggy are doing well. And yeah, I hope you're having a good Friday the 13th so far, Gina. Thank you for jumping on in. All right, here. What do we got? Just want to make sure I'm not missing saying hello to anybody. Looks like we're all caught up on saying hellos. That's great. My favorite is Jason Lives. Jason Lives. I think I got the remake at maybe 6th, you know, somewhere right in the middle, something like that. I really do like it though. Like in the middle for Friday the 13th, it's really that back third where it really falls off the franchise for me. So yeah, I really dig I dig that remake. Okay, what do you guys want first? Do you want the news first? Do you want to take a look at these pictures first? Do you want my top 13 kills from the franchise first? Which way are we going? I don't even know, but let me know in the chat really quick. I'm going to make a little, I think I got it already. Okay, cool. No, I'm all good to go. Whichever way you guys want to roll, we'll roll with that. And guys, today I am not sponsored by, but I certainly am enjoying some Ghost energy drink. No sugar, you know, it's probably filled with all sorts of crazy chemicals. And this one is electric limeade. Guys, I think lime is an underrated flavor. I'm just going to say it. That's my horror hot take of Friday the 13th. Is I think lime is underrated. Lime now and later's great. Like a little squeeze of lime and water, or a beer if you're drinking beer. Yeah, that works out great too. And here we got some lime Ghost. Oh yeah. Let's take a look at the pictures first. Here we go. All right, what are we doing here? I think I'm going to do something like, something tells me that this is the answer. All right, here we go. Whoo, all right, here we are. You know, maybe I'll do it like this, guys. You're getting a little behind the scenes here. All right, everyone. Well, happy Friday the 13th. And it is a happy Friday the 13th indeed, because we finally got something official from the Crystal Lake TV show, guys. So this is coming to us from A24 and Peacock, and we've got some images. This comes to us by way of Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting. So I took a look at the images. This is not the first time I've seen them. I am very excited. I like what we're seeing here. So we're going to get into the article. There's really not much new in the article, but I figured let's just have a little preamble. Let's roll out the red carpet for these pictures. So the headline reads, Crystal Lake first images revealed for Friday the 13th TV series. And we've got that classic quote from Pamela here. You see, Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. And it's funny that I'm like, well, today isn't really his birthday. It's June, but okay, we'll roll with it anyways. The article says, I can't think of a better way to celebrate this Friday the 13th than with the first official look at Crystal Lake, produced by A24 and created by showrunner Brad Caleb Kane from It, Welcome to Derry. The Friday the 13th prequel series is slated to premiere later this year on Peacock, and we've got Linda Cardellini starring as Pamela Voorhees. They're just going to go through and list the rest of the cast here and pull quotes from previous articles. But what I really wanted to do was take a look at the actual pictures with you guys. So let's go ahead and bring these up here. Oh, and we've got this ominous, moody, atmospheric shot here of the docks. Really not much to see, just a nice kind of mood setter. And I think one thing that I noticed, in all three of these pictures is it really does have like an old school kind of feel. Like I am getting the vibe, that like kind of 70s vibe. And it even like looks pretty close to the original film as far as just the way the costume design and just the overall production value. So here we go. We got the dock, not much to see there, but it's setting the mood. It's getting us ready. And then we've got a shot that I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is Barry and Claudette. Now it could end up being somebody else, but just judging from what we know about the series, we know these characters are in the series and we know what happens to them, because we've seen the first film. So this looks very, very similar to the opening of the first film. And who knows, maybe this is from the last episode. Maybe what Vin said the other night when we streamed together, he was saying, what if, Jason passes away early on and we get this recounting of events? So yeah, we don't really know when this is, gonna come up in the show, but we know these characters are gonna be there. So looks like they're getting it on a little bit here. I suppose they could be disposed of already, but judging by the way the legs are, it looks like they're, just getting rolling and they're about to be interrupted. Now I'm guessing they're about to be interrupted by this character here, or what we can assume is this character, because that looks like Pamela's hand and a little bit of her arm and a gooey knife. I like this picture here, especially. I'm like, oh my God, this just looks like, and I know we're not seeing much, but it looks so akin to like the look and feel of the original Friday the 13th from 1980. So I think that's awesome. I love the way the sweater looks here. I love the, it looks like, blood soaked into the cuff and then blood, kind of splattered on the sleeve, but it does still look like that, that classic Pamela Voorhees sweater. I don't know if it's the same design, but it looks like they're matching that color, matching that feel. I love the look of the knife and everything. Just looks very old school. Nothing looks really slick or too clean here. I like the dirty look. And I do like the dirty look, but that grimy, gritty kind of, sort of like what Vin was saying. I'm just going to bring that conversation up again, bringing us to, kind of grounding the story, in a bit more, a bit more of a reality kind of thing. So giving us a grounded take as, what we're hoping will be a launch pad for the franchise moving forward. So I'm so happy that we finally got something official from these folks. We've seen the behind the scenes pictures, which have been really cool to cover and share with you guys and everything. And just get a little bit of a look behind the curtain and everything, because I think everything with the show was looking good. And then now we have some official shots. This looks like they're in the editing process and these look cleaned up and treated and everything like that. So I'm very encouraged by what we're seeing here, guys. I'm super excited. I was still hoping that we would get like a title. I want to know what the title of the show is going to look like, like a one sheet. It could just be a teaser one sheet. So who knows? We'll probably get that. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe not until spooky season, or probably the summer. We'll get something like that. But I really like what we're seeing here. I'm curious to know what you guys think. So whether you're watching live, let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so much for checking out the video. Jump on into the comments section. Give me your thoughts on the still images and just your feeling on, you know, the show overall. And if you're kind of behind on the news with Crystal Lake, I've covered it quite a bit here on the channel. So if you do a little search, you're going to find a whole bunch of Crystal Lake nuggets of news and varying degrees of me, like probably at the beginning a little freaking out, and then as time has gone on, I'm like, okay, I'm actually very excited for this. So yeah, give me everything you got in the comments or in the live chat, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the vid. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, and that way you won't miss a thing. Okay, let's see what you guys are feeling and thinking about this. There we are. And then I'll get into my top 13. So yes, I'm trying to move quickly. So you guys wanted the news first. Okay, great. It feels like the news when you do. I try to make it feel like the news. Yeah, very profesh. Yeah, other than my weird tangents and stuff like that. I really liked it too. That's why I'm feeling really great. One, it's like they're new docs, I would imagine, but they did shoot the TV show in the same location as the original film. So that's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Yeah, same spot and everything like that. So yeah, well, whatever. I think cutoffs can be kind of slick. So there you go. How about that? I get the feeling that it's them, but yeah, it could very easily just be some other random couple. But those characters are in the TV show. So there you go. What's happening, Billy? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Yeah, the blood on it's so great. It just looks very real, you know, not like I really know what that looks like, but it looks messy, you know, it looks real in that messy kind of way. Davey nuggets. Oh my gosh. Love the use of a kitchen knife. Pamela was the cook, so that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, and it's got that old like dried wooden handle, the way that, you know, just it's got this kind of look to it as well. Fits the time and everything. I like it. Yeah, his jorts could be like, you can shred them a little bit more on the bottom and they look a little bit better. And you know, I don't know. So if they're cutoffs, I suppose they are jean shorts, right? But I would say cutoffs have a cooler look than, so if you say jorts to me, I imagine that they're like all hemmed and everything at the bottom, like as you bought them as they were jean shorts. I think those are definitely, you know, dorkier than cutoffs for sure. I don't mind cutoffs. Cutoffs are a bit more form-fitting. Anyways, this has nothing to do with Friday the 13th, other than it looks like Barry's wearing some jorts, and we got something to say about it, okay? Okay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop on over to my top 13. I'm kind of nervous, guys. I'm kind of nervous for my top 13. I don't know. Should I be worried? Are you guys going to be nice to me, or are you going to be terrible? I don't know. You guys are usually pretty nice, which tells me that I'm due for some terrible behavior here. You know, it's like, can only be so much of a good thing before it totally goes sideways. Okay. So here's my disclaimer, guys. Obviously, we're going to have different top kills in this franchise. So I don't ever really do those disclaimers that are like, this is my opinion. Please remember that. I like to give you guys a little bit more credit. I mean, I would imagine you guys know that it's my opinion since I'm the one saying it. It's wild to me that we live in a time where people actually have to like remind people this is just my opinion. That's crazy to me. Anyways, the real disclaimer is this. I'm not going to have the liquid nitrogen kill or the sleeping bag thwop kill from the New Blood on my list. And the reason why is because they're both so amazing. That's like 1A, 1B. You know, take your pick. They're both so good. I feel like with 137 kills in this franchise, since we can all agree that those two kills are like the classic of the classics, I'm just kind of taking them off the table. And it's gonna free up a couple spots for some kills that maybe don't get talked about as much. So how about that? That's my disclaimer. I love those kills. It's not me saying I'm not adding them because I don't like them. It's, you know, we all know that they're, you know, the tops. So let's let's have a conversation about a little something different. How about that? And guys, we got an honorable mention kill. This one goes out to our guy Lito Velasco, or Hollywood Lito, as you might know him from the chat. Lito had fulfilled a super chat goal on one of our previous streams, and the result of that was that he gets to name his own favorite kill in the franchise to be highlighted here on this video. And the kill that he picked is Haas from Jason Lives, who brutally gets his heart ripped out at the beginning of the film. And I remember one of the things that Lito highlighted that he, really enjoys about it is that it shows Jason's heightened level of strength going into this new movie, right? Because Jason dies in the final chapter. He's only there in hallucinations in A New Beginning, and now we have him back, but it's a zombified, totally different kind of version of Jason, with the super strength and everything like that. So, yeah, man, the Haas. Poor Haas. He just goes out there with Tommy thinking what? They're just getting into trouble. They're getting into some fun trouble, Oh, the people at the Institute are going to freak out and, lock us in a room for a couple days when we get back. The dude didn't expect that a zombie revenant monster, water monster nonetheless, would be ripping his fucking heart out. And it's, for a movie, for Jason Lives, which really isn't that, there's not as much on-screen violence there. I think the bloodiest moment is when they go into the cabin. You see the remnants of I can't remember the character's name, but kind of the nerdier girl that got killed. You don't see her actual kill scene, but you see the aftermath, and it's just brutal and bloody. But this is a shot from Jason Lives where, boom, you just get the hand coming through Haas's back with the heart literally in hand, and it's a pretty gruesome shot. So a great kill to kick things off. For our hero, Tommy Jarvis, that's just, another thing on this shit Sunday that he's been building, because he feels responsible. Going into the thing, he feels responsible for what Jason did. And now he's got another death on his hand, right? So, or death on his hands. So yeah, a great moment to kick off the film, a good emotional moment for Tommy to really send him kind of into even more of a spiral than he already was in. And just a brutal show of Jason's strength. So there you go. There's our honorable mention. Thank you so much, Lito, for, fulfilling that super chat goal. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a channel member. And I hope I did the Haas kill some justice for you. So moving on into my top 13 here. We're just going to kick it off, guys. Number 13. This is a favorite of mine for a couple reasons. We got the old hack and toss, Melissa from The New Blood. Oh my gosh. I love the bitchy characters in the Friday the 13th franchise. And a lot of the times it's a female character that's kind of the jerk. Of course, we've got our Trent from, the 09 remake and everything like that. So there are some dudes in there that are total chodes. But man, Melissa is a bitch of the highest degree. The actress is just relishing in the role. And so, it's one of those characters where, and we're going to see this pop up at least one more time on this list, where a character, you can't wait to see them get it. And then they finally get it. And it's so awesome. And what I love about Melissa's kill is she is basically saying screw you guys, I'm going home, and opens up the door to Tina's cabin. And Jason's just standing right there, just, axe right to the head and tosses her like a friggin' rag doll, right, I think behind the television. The stunt performer just really went for it on that stunt. And I love when Jason's got a little bit of a nonchalantness about it. I really dig it. So, Melissa, total bitch, getting her comeuppance, and the fact that she just gets thrown around like nothing. I love this kill from The New Blood. I always get a chuckle out of it when it happens. And for a movie that's very neutered in the gore department, I still have some fun with this one. All right, now moving on to number 12, we've got the trash can drowning Uncle Charles from Jason Takes Manhattan. And man, this is another movie that was really neutered in the gore department. And there's some really fun kills in concept, and we really just don't see them, you know, come to fruition the way that I would have liked to. We've got some, you know, the Julius kill is really fun. I would have liked a lot more blood. I also feel like that one gets talked about quite a bit, so I wanted to talk about a different one. I like the sauna kill with like the, you know, pushing the sauna, using the heat from the sauna rock to, you know, push a hole in someone's body is pretty creative and fun. But Uncle Charles, another bitchy character, the biggest jerk in the whole movie. You just can't stand this guy. Even when he's right, you just can't stand him. And I love that Jason drowns him in this like sludgy trash can that we see like rats in earlier in the movie. It looks to be some sort of green Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of ooze or something like that. And I find it to be such lovely poetic justice because Uncle Charles, you know, threw little Rennie out there in the lake and told her like Jason's gonna friggin' pull you down into the lake. Like, you just have to learn how to swim with no lessons. You just have to figure it out or die, which I don't think any like swimmer or swim lesson teacher or an instructor would ever advise that method. And so it's great that, you know, Jason in a way plays a little bit of a hero here. You know, he gives Charles a bit of his own medicine. So I love this kill. I think it's you know, hero Jason. It's fun to root for Jason in those moments, and such a gross, like, I don't know, grimy, cartoonish kill for a movie that doesn't have much gore in it. I quite enjoy this one. I love watching Charles get it. So there we go. Number 12. There we are. And number 11, we've got, oh, let me see here. Sorry, have a little mistake there. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. There we go. I'll cut this out of the clipped out video. Okay, here we are. We got number 11, Bending Backwards, Trey from Freddy versus Jason. This was one that came up quite a bit, you know, when we were talking about it last week, just from you guys on your favorite kills. And I love the bending, like the bending backwards is great. That's in Jason Lives. I think they do a really good job of it in that. Maybe even better because it's like twitchier. But why I'm giving this one a spot, even more than the bending backwards, the stabbing, Jason stabbing Trey, you know, into the bed with the machete. And it's not even just like there's like blood on the machete as he does it. It looks like it's got like chunks of like, I don't even know, just chunks of flesh. There's like goopy globs of viscera all over this machete as he's stabbing, and it just looks so gnarly. And then the breaking of the back is just like it's, you know, the coup de grace. It's just the cherry on top of the sundae there. This is the second time I've mentioned sundaes. I guess I need to have some ice cream tonight. But yeah, the bending backwards kill from Freddy versus Jason, when I think about this movie, this is the one that stands out to me. And, you know, I guess I could have just put the whole rave scene. There's so many, you know, different kills in that scene, and that scene gets talked about a lot as well. So, and it's more of a scene than just a kill. So there we go. Number 11, Bending Backwards, Trey from Freddy versus Jason. And number 10, we are cracking into the top 10. We've got Sex Kebab. That's right. Jeff and Sandra from part 2. And I really love this kill. The only reason why it's down on my list further is because it is an exact homage, copy, whatever kind of word you want to use. I mean, I think they're paying homage, but it's pretty much shot for shot the death from A Bay of Blood. So, you know, very, very similar. But I do love this kill so much. And it's not the only time that people get, you know, stabbed while they're doing it or right after they did it, or that two people get killed at once in this franchise. Oh my gosh, that happens plenty of times in this lovely franchise. But there you go, Sex Kebab, Jeff and Sandra. And guys, if you remember, Rob from the final chapter is looking for his sister, and his sister, that's Sandra. So that's Sandra there. I believe the actress was only like 16 when they made this movie. Oh my gosh. Let's just say that. Didn't even put a bra on her. Holy cow. But I'll say this in my defense. I was like 9 years old when I first saw these movies, so there's nothing weird about me going, as a 9-year-old. Okay, so get off my back about it. All right, people. All right, moving on to our number 9 here. I got the sleeping bag. Oh, look at that. We have our first misspelling that I've noticed. Okay, there we go. Let's do that one. Let's do that one again, guys. Let's rewind. So I'm going to keep that up there. All right, and going into number 9, we got the sleeping bag burn. Amanda from the Friday the 13th 09 remake. Yeah, dude, this one is friggin' brutal. Oh my gosh. Like when I think like bad enough being picked up in a sleeping bag and, you know, swung into a tree like a baseball bat, that's pretty rough. Like that's got to be pretty brutal. Being hung over a fire in a sleeping bag, dragged on the ground, hung over a fire and just roasted like a friggin' peanut or something like that. You know, giant human peanut in a sleeping bag, just totally brutal. When she spills out of there and she's like all, you know, roasted like a piece of chicken, it's just fucking gross. And I dig this kill quite a bit from this 09 remake. And guys, I'm just gonna say, not the only time the 09 remake is showing up on this list. So how about it? How about it? And we got number 8 here. This one I'm calling Right in the Store. Ooh, Paul from the final chapter. Yeah, you know, screw you, Paulie. When Judy Aronson's character, I don't know why I can never remember her name. It's not Sarah. Sarah's the other girl. Judy Aronson is out there on the raft and she gets got by Jason. And of course, Paul feels bad because he was nuzzling up to one of the Doublemint twins there in the cabin. And he comes out to find his lady. But Jason has other plans. And oh my God, he gets like stabbed with this harpoon gun right in the junk. It's like right off to the side. Even for getting hit in the junk, it looks even worse than you would think. And then not only that, but Jason like pulls the trigger on this thing and he gets hoisted up. So picked up another, you know, 6 to 8 inches, I would imagine. Oh my God, every time I see this, and maybe it's a thing that you feel more when you're a guy versus when you're a lady, but it's like you just feel the phantom pressure. You know, it's not like I don't feel pain, but I just, you know, you sort of, it makes you wince a little bit. And I think this is a forgotten kill in the franchise. I really do. I think every time I watch the final chapter, this one gets me every time. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. So there we are. We're highlighting screw you, Paulie, and his kill from the final chapter. All right, number 7. Totally screwed by from Jason X. We got Condor from Jason X. He's playing the video game, playing the VR and everything with the little squirrely kid, and Jason interrupts their game. And Jason X, I wanted to put one from Jason X here on the list, and the liquid nitrogen kill, I took that one off the table, you know. So when I was thinking like, what are the other ones that I really love in this one? I mean, this sucks on so many levels is great. That's not really a Jason kill, although it is still a kill. But I love this image of who knows why they have this giant screw just sitting there. It didn't even occur to me until talking about it right now. But he just, you know, gets pushed onto this thing and just starts, you know, swirling on down. And it's just a creative image. Like out of all the times we've seen Jason kill, you know, dozens and dozens of people throughout these movies, and then we get this this hilarious shot, and we even get a little quip about it. So Condor from Jason X, totally screwed. All right, now moving into our number 6. I'm calling this one sign stealing. This is Deborah from Jason Goes to Hell, and this is that tent kill that everyone talks about. Oh my God, this is a kill that gets talked about a lot that I'm still putting on the list, because I remember the first time watching Jason Goes to Hell, you know, on VHS with my buddies. I think we watched I don't know if it was the unrated cut or whatever it was NC-17 or something like that. And I just remember being blown away because we didn't see gore like this in slasher movies at that time. So this, you know, and I know it's technically it's Jason possessing the coroner. But we just get the stabbing of the signpost through Deborah, and then that pull up, and she just like splits almost right in half. The blood squirt. She's in the middle of riding this dude. It is just a brutal kill, super bloody. It looks really good. The practical effects are amazing. And at that point, like, oh my God, we are in for some awesome kills and some great gore in this movie. And holy shit, say what you want about Jason Goes to Hell. The gore is fantastic. The special effects are incredible. So they really go for it. And this is the kill in the film that lets you know that they are extra going for it. So there we go. Sign stealing from Jason Goes to Hell. Now our number 5 on the list is Where's the Corkscrew? Which is Jimmy from the final chapter. Oh my gosh, I talked about this one just last week. The reason why it's so high on the list, guys, it's not just the corkscrew in the hand and the cleaver to the face. It's what Jason does with Jimmy after he basically uses him as like a makeshift door, blocking the exit from the kitchen area out of the cabin, to where later on, I believe Trish is being chased around. It blocks her way out. Maybe it doesn't block her way out, but Jason makes his way out of the cabin, and we see later that Jimmy is basically crucified on the outside of the house, like railroad spikes through his hands and everything. And Jason just pushes him aside. Like he tears like a piece of like a wet paper towel. And it is just super disturbing and gross. And yeah, for those 3 reasons, corkscrew, cleaver, crucifixion, this one is a top 5 on my list. And yeah, man, Crispin Glover had one of the best ones right there. Number 4 on the list, we've got the post-coital penetration. Jack from the original Friday the 13th from 1980. Yes, the lone Pamela Voorhees kill on this one. But what a classic one it is. Marcy is great. I do love that kill. Very Hitchcockian. Really dig that. But I feel like the Kevin Bacon kill, his character Jack, this is one of these kills that kind of, ushered in that 80s slasher vibe. The from under the bed, arrow through the neck, just like blood coming out, this thick kind of waxy blood. Yeah, it's a bit surreal. It's very like giallo. It's very Mario Bava, Bay of Blood and all that. But it really, like, for American cinema, I feel like this is a kill that we keep on looking back to as such a quintessential kill to kick off the heyday of the slasher subgenre. I mean, even though Friday the 13th is 2 years after the original Halloween, I think in some ways it's more responsible for the big bang of the slasher subgenre, because it took the gore to bigger heights. It took the griminess and everything to bigger heights, and it showed that you could, kind of copy and paste this sort of formula. So I think the Jack kill right here, that's why it cracks the top 5. It is I think the marquee kill effects wise of this very first movie. Great job by Tom Savini and the crew. And even though a lot of people like to kind of take a shit on the original Friday the 13th, I think it has great atmosphere. I think it's maybe it's falling into being a little underrated, I think, at this point. I don't think it's the best in the franchise, but I do think it's top 5. So there you go. Jack, the post-coital penetration kill from the original Friday the 13th. Now, number 3, oh man, maybe this is controversial, but the double-bladed axe throw that hits Lawrence from the 2009 remake. Oh my God, I love this kill so much. I think it's the lighting, it's the framing, it's the way like Jason is really, he's got that run going. It's like a track and field kind of thing mixed with the camp activities. He gets his nice run into it, and it just helps him get that both arms over the back of his head, chucks that thing. And according to Google, it says it flies about 30 yards, which is wild to throw an axe for over 30 yards and still have it, go into someone's back. But good job, Jason. You clearly practiced when you were at camp. So way to go. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love this, is because I do love the camp related, or like camp activity related kills from the 09 remake, you know, using the bow and arrow, throwing the axe. Those are both things that you would have done presumably at camp back in the day. And I love that they put that to good use here. I also love that Jason, you know, he's got a bit of woodsman in him. Like, he's very clever in this remake as far as being a survivor goes. So he uses Lawrence as essentially like bait, you know, to try to get people to come outside, which is clever, awesome, and he looks so cool. I swear the light behind him, the big spotlight behind Jason, is amazing during that scene there. So there we are, guys. We are in top 3 territory, and now we are officially in top 2 territory, because I've got what I'm calling split decision Andy from part 3. Holy shit, this kill must have looked wild in 3D in the theaters way back in the day. And even today, it's like, what am I looking at? It just looks so gruesome, right? And you get these quick shots, like, you know, you get that amazing shot from under of Jason holding the axe above his head, you know, this shot there. And then he just, again, splits him. What brutal. He just, like, Jason seems to have this super strength to where dude just falls like a sack of potatoes and is split in half. And then we get that aftermath shot, you know, when his, I can't remember the girlfriend's name, but when she's hanging out in a hammock reading her Fangoria, and, you know, the blood starts dripping and she looks up, and that's another, like, oh my God, what am I looking at kind of moment, because it is such a creative, you know, it's such a creative way to go about that gore effect, you know, that practical effect. And just the idea of splitting somebody right in half, again, kind of hurts the naughty bits thinking about it. And it's just, it is such a display, you know. Again, think about, put yourself back in, like, you know, it's 1982 and you're watching these movies. That is a pretty, you know, ambitious kill right there. I love that. Andy, split decision from part 3 is my number 2. And guys, my number 1, little drum roll for you. Joy to the world. We got the RV twofer kill, Nikki and Court from Jason Lives, my favorite film in the franchise, and a film that admittedly doesn't have a lot of over-the-top gory kills or anything like that. But I love this kill so much for just the confined area is really nice, that it's all taking place in the RV. I love that you've got a mix of this amazing rock and roll song. You've got Teenage Frankenstein playing by Alice Cooper. You've got Court, who, you know, unbeknownst to him, there's extreme danger happening, you know, right behind him in the RV. So it's one of those cool things where we know exactly what's going on. He doesn't, so he's just acting like a total goof. And then his girlfriend, Nikki, you know, pulled into the bathroom by Jason, and huge old struggle there. She gets to kick the door open a little bit, right? But she doesn't quite get out. And then Jason taking her and pushing her head through, like, into the wall to where it, you know, we have this imprint of her that gets pushed out of the outer wall of the RV. It's just such an awesome shot. It's one of those, like, liquid metal kind of shots as well. I don't know. I love it. Like, creative kill right there. And then of course we have Court joking about her taking a dump. And then, you know, he gets the knife right in the head. And we have not only that, like, I think another thing that makes this kill so great, the effect that they put on the music. So Alice Cooper says, you know, Teenage Frankenstein, and it echoes on that Stein. And, like, that's all we hear is the echo of the song. Everything else cuts out, and we get that RV, you know, that, you know, hits the little bump or whatever, crashes on its side, catches fire. The side door pops right off, you know, Jason standing up there in a, you know, blaze of glory behind him. It's just an epic shot. It's just so beautiful. It's a really cool set piece, a really cool stunt, and it works in so many different kinds of flavors that Friday the 13th gives you, but it gives all of those to you in this one little scene. And that is why the RV twofer with Nikki and Court from Jason Lives is my number 1 favorite kill in the Friday the 13th franchise. So There you go, guys. Top 13 kills in this franchise. Happy Friday the 13th. I hope you are enjoying this one, maybe with friends or family. Maybe you're going through and trying to watch all the movies. Maybe you have a handful of these movies you like to revisit. Let me know which ones you'll be watching in the comments. Let me know what your favorite kills are in the comments. You don't have to do 13, but if you want to, that's totally cool. But if you just want to let me know your favorite or a couple or whatever you got, let me know down there. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about my epic list here. There we go. I'm going to get that off there. There we go. All right. And thank you guys for being patient as I just rattled it all off. I figured it would be easier to put together as a video if I wasn't taking breaks and all that. And man, I way too much. So if I would taking breaks, it would never get done. It would just never get done. All right. So yes, part 5 wasn't represented. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, part 5, but there's just hardly any gore in part 5. So I'm like, the kills to me all seem kind of lackluster, you know, if that makes any sense. Holy cow, guys, we have like 30 people hanging out. That's amazing for this time of day. Thank you so much for kicking it with us. You're hanging out with the Death Squad. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're so close to 2,800 subs, guys. We are so close. I think like 5 away. So, you know, share the channel with some people who you think might dig this kind of content, because I'm hoping that we could hit that 3,000 mark, you know, sometime in April would be my dream. So my little mini dream. There you go. You know what's funny, Foz, is every time I go to write, like type Jason X, I end up putting an X instead of the S, and then I'm like, oh my God, should they have called that movie Jackson? Oh my goodness. Hey, wait a minute. That's Freddy. That's not. I'm just joking. All right, let's see what you guys got here. Jason Voorhees from Crystal Lake, not any other one, says 09 reboot was so good in my opinion. I like the kills, and him being silent stalking like Michael Myers was perfect. Yeah, I always say that he is like a spider in the 09 remake. He is like a spider, and Crystal Lake is his web. So it's like, no offense, but if a little insect gets in a spider's web, like that's that, bro. Like there's no letting you off the hook. You know, Jason is just kind of protecting his area and doing what he has to do. All right. Okay, so I'm way behind on the chat because I already brought these up. Davey Nuggets, I see that. Oh my God, Davey Nuggets. That is just too much fun. Too much fun. Melissa in the New Blood does have a very satisfying demise. I love it. You know, and another one that I could have brought up was the disco kill in Takes Manhattan. Man, the stunt performer, when Kane just like throws her down on the dance floor, that's a really tough looking stunt. So took it like a champ. I don't know how they make it so brutal without getting hurt. But man, yeah. Also, yo, that's a great moment too. I was even, I'm like, man, should I count any of Jason's kills? He keeps on coming back, but I love his kill in the New Blood. Just everything from Tina breaking his mask off and hanging him with the electric cable and burning him and blowing up the house. Like there's just a lot of fun to be had there. But I chose not to include any of the Jason kills because he doesn't really die, you know? Machete in the stomach in FBJ was brutal, especially after it was on fire. That is, man, that scene is pretty killer. It is. Spear through the bed. Classic, Jamie. We got Montrese hanging out. What's happening, Montrese? Great to see you. Let's see here. The burn marks at the and the death scene itself not being too short or too long. It's just perfectly done. Are you talking? Which one are you talking there? You're talking. Oh, the sleeping bag burn, probably. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty hardcore, man. He takes out a lot of people early on in that movie. Brenda's death in part 1 is confusing. Which one's Brenda? She's the... Wait, so she goes out to investigate she hears the child, right? And she goes out to the archery range. Well, I don't think we ever see her get killed, right? So I don't know if it's confusing, but it's just not on screen. You know, we assume she gets arrowed, as Strong Bad would say. And... So we assume she gets shot with arrows and then what? Wrapped in a rope and thrown through the window, I think is what happens. What's happening, Nicholas? Welcome on in, man. Yeah, it is. I can feel the, do you know what I mean? I can feel the pressure in that area. Crazy. It's crazy stuff. We got Jason Carpenter hanging out with us, one of our great channel members. What's happening? Didn't mean to be fair. Dude, you're okay. Jason, I think what it is, I just, I respect everyone that does content creation. One of the people you had mentioned, I don't know. The other two I do know personally, and I really like those guys, I get along with them pretty easily. And so it was just one of those things where I didn't want to say the names and then have it be misconstrued that I was saying anything, about those guys in any sort of negative way, because I really don't have anything negative to say. So you're all good, man. It's just, it can get dicey, when you're on this side of everything, So yeah, you're all good. You are all good. Nothing, and there, honestly, really, there's nothing wrong with loving Scream 7. I don't think there's anything wrong with fanboying out over that. I really like that movie quite a bit myself. The Jason Goes to Hell tent kill was awesome in the theater. Hell yeah. Oh my God, it must have been crazy in the theater. And then the diner scene is fucking nuts too. It does kind of rock. I wish it had better music, but it kind of rocks. There we go. Jason Goes to Hell tent kill is the most brutal in Ash's opinion. Dude, it is really tough. It is seriously, I'd never seen anything like that in a movie. I was probably 15 or 16 by the time I saw Jason Goes to Hell, something like that. And I had never seen anything like that. Yeah. Total classic. Paula, thank you so much, Billy. Appreciate you. It is so iconic. And even, yeah, having the fact that it's Kevin Bacon, I'm sure it certainly helps. But I do think, there aren't as many like on screen, almost half of the kills are like off screen in that movie, right? So it is just the one that really stands out because it goes for it as far as the whole magic trick, side of it. We got Nicholas Woodall dropping a 140. Is that a super sticker? What do we got? What do we got on the super sticker here? What do we got there, Nicholas? Let's see what we're doing here. I guess YouTube doesn't want to share it with me. I will share with you guys, though. I have a poll. Oh my gosh, it's 50-50 in the poll, guys. Between these two Friday the 13th films, which is better? And you guys are split on Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. That's amazing. 42 votes and exactly 50%. I'll leave it open for a little bit. And guys, we are... doesn't look like we're going to reach our super chat goal, so no big deal. We will still hang out for a little bit. I was going to hang out for a little bit more with you guys if we reach the goal, but really I've got in 2 hours, I'm going to be going live with Jason from Backtrack. So I just wanted to give myself a little bit of a break, still be able to give you guys a stream for our UK people and a little daytime stream for the folks out here in the States. So and guys, super chat goals and all that stuff, it's always just extra. It's always just fun. It's yeah, no, I'm not going to put a whole bunch of stuff behind a paywall and all that kind of stuff. And either way, our guy Ryan Michael dropping a 10 before I even put the goal out there. So he basically helped reach that goal. Anyway, so how about it? Nicholas says 2 and 6 are my favorites, dude. Part 2 is really good. I think that's my number 3. I think I'm 6, 4, 2 or my 1, 2, 3. Danny Zuko doesn't have a favorite. Favorite kill? It's really tough. Like for me with the RV kill, it's like, and with a lot of these ranking them, it's so difficult to rank them. So I make adjustments as I go. I knew the RV kill. I was like, well, Jason Lives doesn't have much, but that is that's like a set piece kill. And you get 2 and 1. I'm like, that's going to be my number 1. It's my favorite movie. And it's the most epic kill in the movie. But yeah, it can be tough. Oh, and he kills it on the soundtrack for this. Yeah. Love it. Happy Friday the 13th. Right back at you there, Danny Zuko. Jamie says, great list, called out some that I'd forgotten. Hell yeah. And that's cool too, right? Because again, 137 kills. Holy shit. It is tougher to remember, all of these. And I do try to, admittedly, guys, like I said in my disclaimer, I do try to just, I think you guys probably noticed this about me in general anyways, that it's like certain things get talked about over and over in horror, and it's nice to just kind of take a break and not not do the echo chamber thing and just like give some space to something else. So that liquid nitrogen kill, and the sleeping bag, but it is fun to be like, oh yeah, that one's really good too. All right. Yeah, it's fun. And of course, even if you guys are, you're thinking about this throughout the day, you want to jump back into the comments, let me know what your favorites are, or just what your favorite is, then of course you can do that. Can't remember the guy's name, but the one that likes to dance around, I love his kill. Oh, so you must be talking about Jimmy from the final chapter. That was number 5? Yes. Where's the corkscrew? You're talking about Goofy Crispin Glover dancing? Right? He's got to be he's the only one that really likes dancing around, right? I think. Man Behind the Mask is amazing. Oh yeah, and I think he's got 2 or 3 songs on the soundtrack as well. I enjoy watching it for what it is, but as far as kills go, unfortunately, it didn't make an appearance because the movie is so neutered with, there's like all these tits and everything, but like no kill shots. We see like aftermath shots, we see blood, but we don't really see much we don't really see the kills, unfortunately. But I like certain things about 5. I like all the movies in the franchise, just to varying degrees, for sure. Samantha, thank you so much. I appreciate you, bud. I know. Hey, I love my spiders, man. I do. I think spiders are great. They're freaky. I don't think they're I think they're beautiful in like a, fascinating kind of way, but oh my, yeah, they're not, I don't want them crawling all over me. I respect and appreciate them very, very much. And I think they're kind of otherworldly looking. And those are, I don't know, we have a lot of samey looking stuff on our planet, or animals that look similar to this or similar to that. I love just seeing something like a spider or a scorpion where you're like, the fuck is that? Like, whose nightmare did that come from? And here it is. We got kittens and puppies. And we got fucking like hairy ass spiders with like 8 eyes and it's just crazy. Big old fangs, What's happening, Nightmare Files? Happy Friday the 13th to you, man. Welcome on in. What are some of your favorite kills in the franchise? And you can keep, I kept the obvious ones off the table, or at least the 2 most obvious, but let me know what you got, man. What are you doing to celebrate the holiday? I'm going to be watching parts 2 through the final chapter later on. So if you're looking for something to do, love that handstand kill. Yeah. It, really creative. And if they shot it today, we'd probably, I don't know if we'd see it in slow motion, but they would shoot it in a way where we definitely see more. I kind of like that it's this what the hell am I looking at sort of kill, that it's just sort of a mess. I think in a way that's kind of cool. Nicholas Woodall dropping another $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. Little pair guy, little workout pair hanging out. I don't know where they get their ideas for their super stickers, but they sure are cute. Let's see here. What else do we got? Yeah, but I just can't think of another guy that likes to dance around. Jimmy's the only one I can think of. Thank you, Billy. Billy's got all the character names down. Billy, I need you on the channel. I've never been able to feel that one in my back, Danny, but I totally get it, because there's certain, like the, pencil in the ankle from Evil Dead. There are certain things I feel. It's not just the crotch stuff, although I do feel those. But I think, Teddy, let's just talk about Teddy for a second. I like the character of Teddy. I think part 4 has like some more of the likable characters that we see in the franchise, for sure. Like, even though Polly, I don't know why, and if I were with Judy Aronson, I wouldn't ever even look at another woman. But it's not like he's a total shitbag. Like that's shitty, and he's shitty for doing that. But he's not, he seems, up until that point, he just seems like a regular guy, right? And I think Teddy is kind of a shit too, but he's just a horny teenager, trying to help his friend, even though clearly he has no experience. It's great. It's great. Satan's Playground. Yeah, I just love him. I'd love to have a tarantula as a pet. I really would. Yeah, I really love. There you go. Okay, cool. We're talking about the same person. Yeah, that's Jimmy. I think his name is Jimmy. All right, let's see what else we got. A part force tracking cam kill where you see Jason in the victim's shadow, says Hudson Rahman. I really like that one too. That is a cool. So that's what I talk about, guys, when I say like I don't need every kill in a slasher. Like I don't need to see every single one. I kind of like if you can do off screen and you can do it in a creative way, go ahead and work it in. I don't want half of the kills to be off screen or even like a third of them to be off screen. But if you have one or two and you handle it in a way that's like cinematically engaging and still has a creep factor, I really like that one too. I like those kinds of creative kills, you know, the letting your imagination kind of do the work. I dig that. Yeah. I must have just missed it, Jamie. I don't know. What did you say? Oh, Mama Mod says, behave or I'll go all key, ma. There we go. Yes, you guys have to behave. Come on. I didn't mean to miss it, Jamie. Sometimes I just miss a comment. It's true. Sometimes I do. Antonis says, I'm good. I'll pass on spiders. I don't need one as a pet. What if it crawls out and you freak out when it's gone? That would suck to lose a creature like that. I live in Arizona, so hopefully it would just get outside and it would have a decent life out there. But I mean, I guess the idea is if I had a tarantula, I would want to give it a pretty good life, you know? I'd want to take care of it. I wouldn't be into like handling it and all that stuff. But guys, you know, female tarantulas can live like 35 years. So you can have that pet for a long time. Male tarantulas, I think out in the wild, it's like 3 to 5 years. They might live a little bit longer in captivity. I'm not sure. How about that lifespan? 3 to 5 years for males, 35 years for females. There you go. The men are just there for one thing, if you know what I'm saying. We got Rebel Sky 3549 dropping a tenner. Thank you so much, Rebel Sky. Says, hey, Davey, I'm working on a story I call Friday the 13th Ritual. Jason's original babysitter comes to warn him of an escaped patient named Rains who can cause spontaneous combustion and more. Jason's original babysitter. So is this okay? All right. Friday the 13th Ritual. What kind are you is it going to be a written story, Rebel Sky? Or are you looking to turn it into like a comic or a short film or anything like that? Or is it just, are you writing it as a traditional narrative, like a little novella? Very interesting, man. Very interesting. It is, you know, with Jason's supernatural abilities, the fact that he gets supernatural abilities at some point, or maybe he's had them the whole time, because he does withstand a lot of damage in episodes 2 through 4. You know, before dying, he sustains a lot of damage, and yeah, he seems to be relatively okay. So is there, you know, working in some other kind of supernatural element into the universe? I can totally see that for sure. Best of luck, Rebel Sky. Best of luck. I think I'm one of those people where I can come up with an idea and then actually writing the damn thing can take forever, literally forever, which means never also. But thank you so much for the tenor, Rebel Sky. Excuse me. Best of luck writing your story. Hope it goes well for you. We got Hollywood Lito in the house. What's happening, Lito? Hope you are doing well. One of our great channel members. Lito, I gave you your shout out earlier on. I had to do the top 13 kills live because I'm having editing issues when I edit on my computer. I've got some stuff I need to figure out because it's getting a little tougher to edit those pre-recorded videos. Guys, while I have Lito's chat pulled up, I know I brought this up the other night, but oh my gosh, Lito sent me this. It's the liner notes from Jason Lives, signed by Harry Manfredini. And he even did the little Kiki Mama music staff up there as well. So such an awesome, thoughtful gift. Thank you so much, Lito. I was saying like a year ago, I didn't have any signatures for Friday the 13th. And then, you know, as of starting last summer, I have 6 signatures on my NECA Jason mask. So I've got Ken Kersinger, Ron Sloan, I've got Kane Hodder, Amy Steele, I've got Adrian King and Vincent DeSanti all signed that Jason mask here. And then, of course, we got Harry's right there. Thank you, Lito. And then I have a lot of Vincent DeSanti autographs, but the really cool thing on this one, so this is inside the Never Hike Alone 2 Blu-ray. It's I have number 275 of 1000. It's signed by Vin, but it's also signed by Tom Matthews right there. So that is pretty awesome to have his signature there as well. So it's wild how I had none of this memorabilia signed, and now I've got, you know, all these Friday the 13th signatures on my memorabilia. It's amazing. Lito has been awesome enough to send me another piece to add. So thank you so very much, man. Hope you're having a great Friday the 13th so far. Jamie says, I'm just busting your nards, Davey. Yeah, busting my nards with a harpoon gun. I get it. Let's see here. I need a drink of this energy drink here. Yeah, you make a good point there, Nanette. I think that's, you know, we talked about that. We did a versus battle, Mark and I, Mark from Tales from the Shelf, and Vin joined us for that one as well. And that's one of the big things is the character, you know, we go through the side characters. That's one of the criteria that we like vote on. And man, I don't think you can beat the side characters in the final chapter. I think it's the best group of, like, just overall, it's the best group of characters that we get in the franchise, for sure. Crystal Lake finally coming December 26th. That's so far away. Did they just announce that date? Because I don't see that they had announced it when they sent out the stills. That's crazy. Lito, did you see the stills? I would imagine you must have, right? And Lito, I know I saw that you had sent me some messages earlier today. It's just been from work and then getting ready for this and then another stream. I've just been like, go. Let's see here. Ghost in the Fog. Hey, they've got up on Bloody Disgusting. They've got Vin stuff on there. Ghost in the Fog official trailer. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I'm just looking for the date that you were saying there. Let's see here. Oh my God, are they doing a... Oh no, it's a game for Ritual. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking that up. I have not seen the date yet. Oh my gosh, Lito, where is it? I need it right now. Somebody's gonna clip that out and turn it into something awful. Crystal Lake TV show release date. So okay, so I'm seeing, yeah, December of 2026. I don't see an actual firm date. But man, why not Friday the 13th in November? Why aren't they doing that? Come on. We got G dropping in with a Canadian $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Saying happy Friday the 13th to Davey and the Death Squad. Happy Friday the 13th. Right back at you, Sean. Let's see here. We got Super Tenor, one of our great channel members, jumping on in. How are you doing, Aaron? So good to see you. Let's see what else. Smith's Grove Sanitarium jumping in to let us know that it's 232 days until Halloween. That's right. We'll be halfway to Halloween in 7 weeks, something like that. Well, I'm glad you're all finished and that you can enjoy the holiday here, as it were. Yeah, I went for it. Didn't even do it on the inside of the mask. I'm like, fuck it. I want it on the outside. Fuck it. I'm never going to wear this thing for real anyways. I'd love to meet him. Haven't met him yet. Hopefully there will be a time where Vin is around and Tom's around, and I can meet Tom through Vin. I think that would be a really cool way, instead of just walking up as a rando fan, just being able to have a little bit of that connective tissue would be, good for a hang. I don't have any signatures from the Evil Dead people. Yeah, it's wild. It's my favorite. I've never been the biggest signature guy. Like I like collecting them and everything, but I was at Mad Monster. There were so many people from the Friday the 13th franchise there. So I brought my mask just in case. And then it just, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to have them all sign it. Yeah, if there were a con that had like a bunch of Evil Dead people that I was at, I would definitely go get some signatures and stuff. What exactly is a light blue super chat? $1.99. to $4.98, I think would be light blue. You know, that $2 to just under $5 range, something like that. Was that an advertisement? No, I don't get any. No, like, yeah, it just so happens that it lines up that way. I do like these energy drinks. I am not sponsored by anyone. No one sponsors me. I mean, I help Creator VC share their documentaries because I like the work they do. But this, I love. It's electric limeade. I really like lime flavored things, and I need some extra energy because I'm doing a 6-hour watch party marathon with Jason from Backtrack Cinema. So need to get those jitters going, you know. Whoa, poster and a release date? Where's this poster? What the heck is going on? I know, I'm just waffling right now, guys. I know. Weird, I'm not seeing an official poster. I mean, I've seen some posters that I've seen before that have been like other, you know, creepy duck design and stuff like that. I'll have to dig for it later here, Lido. Yeah. Thank you so much for letting me know, though. Of everybody in Friday the 13th, who's my favorite? Tommy Jarvis, and it'll be the Tom Matthews version for sure. We got Frank Riker jumping in, giving smooches. Smooches right back at you, Frank. Bearded smooches. How are you doing? Guys, frankly speaking, if you do not follow Frank's channel, frankly speaking, it's great. I love, you know, of course, we all love the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast. Love when those two guys are together, but they're great on their own as well. So support Only Sans, and then also sub on over to Frankly Speaking. I think it's inaccurate news, Davey. The Friday the 13th franchise website hasn't announced any release date. Okay. Well, I've heard November, December. That's what I've been hearing. Random kills, the couple with the champagne in the wood. Yes, that's a good double kill. That's the double kill. So we had mentioned the one with the spear, but then there's that one right there. There's also the stabbing through the bed in 5. Robin, I think it is, gets stabbed in. So that's kind of similar to what Mom did in the original, right? And then, you know, there's the stabbing through the bed in Freddy versus Jason as well. Is there another double kill in the franchise? I mean, I guess the RV is like one after another. Yeah. Yeah, those people in the woods, the nighttime picnickers, that always just like, I was like, why are they picnicking at night? And there's another weird thing in Jason Lives. They do like the hawk screeches in the middle of the night. Like, no, that's like when a hawk is like diving, like when they're hunting during the day. Let's see here. We got a 199er from Hollywood. Lido says, done. Sent you the poster via text. Thank you so much, Lido. Appreciate you, man. I'll check out, I'll verify the, you know, the, what's the word I'm looking for? We'll figure out if those images are official. All right, let's see what else we got. You know what? It's really not bad. It's not, there's like no sugar or anything. Like I dig them. Yeah, I dig them quite a bit. Rebel Sky drops a $5 and says her name is Casey Rains. The experimentation using blood from dead animals and people unlocking a connection to the supernatural but chaotic. Okay, so is it Crystal Lake that's got this supernatural energy? I would imagine so. Thank you so much for the $5, Rebel Sky. Really appreciate you. All right, guys, I think I am going to head out just so I can have a little bit of a break before jumping in for the marathon. There is a link there to Frank's channel, so you can check him out. Love what Frank does over there. And guys, I got to be honest, I really just like the kind of everyman approach that Frank has as well. I think that's you know, that is the highlight of the channel, is going over there and just getting something that's like honest and unfiltered, you know. It's how these East Coast people are. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You just have to. That's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. Wow, you are amazing. We have over 30 people hanging out as we're signing off. Don't worry, guys, I will be back in an hour and a half. So subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Jason from Backtrack Cinema and myself are going to be watching Friday the 13th, Part 2, Part 3, and the final chapter back to back to back. We're going to be talking about those images from the Crystal Lake TV show. So if you want to talk about those a little bit more, we'll be chatting about that. And we will be joined by James Sweet, director of Jason Rising, writer-director, and of Jason Rising 2, which is currently crowdfunding. So we're going to be doing, sharing the QR code for that crowdfunding site. And we'll be joined by James, at least for a handful of minutes. So set the notifications. Whether you're going to watch on Backtrack or watch over here on Davey Deathray, do us both a favor and go on over to the other stream and hang out for a little bit, drop a like, all that kind of good stuff. Just spread that love around. It would be really, really sweet of you. And yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this stream. You all are awesome for hanging out and kicking it with me. I just want to shine a light on some of the things, super chats we had come in and membership chats and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, by the way, to all the members, the Patreon members as well, YouTube channel members, and our Death Squad mods over here. So we had Ryan Michael send in a $9.99. Thank you so much, Ryan, my guy up there in Portland. We got Kyle Curtis Flett from Another World celebrating 7 months of channel membership. Gina, aka My Chunky Jordy, is celebrating 19 months of channel membership. Holy cow, over a year and a half. We got Nicholas Woodall sending in a super sticker, 140, and another one for $2. Rebel Sky dropping a tenner. Sean G dropping a Canadian $5, super tenor with a 2. Hollywood Lido with a 2, and Rebel Sky with another super chat with a $5. Thank you so much, everyone, for contributing to the channel. You guys are awesome. I'm going to be back in an hour and a half, and you're going to get more. You're going to get more Friday the 13th content from me tomorrow. So, oh my gosh, it's wild here. Like the stream, sub to the channel, share the channel. If you're watching after the fact, hype this stream if you dig what you're seeing. And that's going to wrap it up. I love all of you guys, and I will see you here in just a little bit. But until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.